Yes, Jordan.
May I have a pencil, please?
Yes. Raise your hand if you need a pencil. Raise your hand if you need a pencil.
No, oh, it's not.
Okay. So if you have a pencil, you're working on the blaze. Fine. Yes.
Blaze is on that. I'm going to come around and type those. Okay.
Yes. Okay. Glad you guys are trying this. Hey, you guys, I'll give you one more minute to finish up. So at 12:01, we will go over it. If you've been stuck so far, I'll give you a clue so maybe you can finish it before we all start it. So if you've been stuck, see if that helps you find the answer. And there's still something you have to do. You won't be finished after that. There's still something you have to do once you get that answer. But see if that helps you. Okay, so let's go over it. You can kind of work. You're working. I'll pull this up so we have more board space. So I gave you the hint. The hint was to multiply $54.50 times 0.4. Let's read it first. Will you read this aloud to us, Joel?
Yes.
Monday?
I got 40% off when I purchased the rare comic book, whatever that word is. Priced at $54.50. How much did I pay?
Okay, so that's like a real question. I mean, I go shopping all the time, and I like to go still shopping, and I got to figure out pretty quickly how much I'm going to pay. So this is a real life problem. So I gave you all the hint. It's to take 54.5, which is representing $54.50, times 0.4. Why did I do 0.4? Keith?
Because if it was just 0, it wouldn't make any sense, and plus, because of the, since you got it, minus it by 4 and divide it by 40, 40, and you just put 4.
So first you said I wouldn't have a 0 here because that would be just multiplying by 0 would give me a row of zeros. So that's the reason I wrote 0.4 instead of 0.40. And then we have, this represents 40%. So if we multiply this out, does anyone come up here and do this real fast? Okay, Noah, come up here. I'll let you do the next one. I'll let you do the next part. So this is step 1, but we have other steps that we have to do. Because I get 40% off. I don't pay 40%. I get 40% off. So how much am I actually paying? What percent of the price am I actually paying? If I get 40% off, then what percent am I paying? Got somebody who knows. Keith knows.
You have to multiply or
I know somebody else has an idea too. Joel, call on somebody. Let's see if they know. I don't care if their hand's up or not. Anybody you want. Because I know everybody knows this. Ashton. If I get 40% off, and a percent means 100, then what does that mean that I'm paying? If I'm getting 40% off, and the whole thing's 100%, what does that leave? What does that mean that I'm paying? What percentage? If I get 40% off, how much would be left? If I start out with 100 and 40% is taken off, then what percent am I paying? Sense? Wait, sorry. Choose somebody else to help you, Ashton.
60%.
Back to Joel. 60%. So when we do percents, he multiplied 54.5 times 0.4, and we got, well, let's move this over one. We got to move it over 2 places.
What?
You just put your decimal there. It just goes right here. And he got $21.80. But that doesn't represent how much I'm paying. That represents how much I'm getting off the price. That's how much I'm getting off. So to figure out how much I'm paying, I have to take the original amount, $54.50, and subtract my discount. My discount was $21.80. Is that right? Does everyone who's done this problem so far agree that $21.80 is correct?
Yes.
I haven't done it, so I'm trusting you guys.
I got a different answer on the multiplication one. It was 21.8. Oh, I gotta add up 0.
And then you got it. You got it. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so 21.8. So when he subtracted 54.5 and he subtracted the discount of $21.80, he got $32.70. Do you guys agree with this?
Yes.
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 Yes. Okay, so earlier I said, I was trying to get from you guys that getting 40% off is the same thing as paying 60% of the price. Let's see if what I said was right, because I mean, you guys trust me a lot. Let's see if it's right. I want you guys to multiply this. Take $54.50, that's basically what it's representing. If it helps you, I can put a 0 there, times 0.6. And what we're looking to see is if our answer to this problem is this number. That's what we're looking to see. To see if what I said was correct earlier, that getting 40% off is like paying 60%, then this answer should be this. So I'd like for you to work this right now on the back of your blank. Well, as long as it doesn't make, if you have enough room to do on the front, you can. Let it check out. Good.
Same thing.
Okay, so if you've already finished that and you've already checked, why don't you tell me what the price is going to be after sales tax? Can you do that? So if you've already done this part, can you tell me what it would be after sales tax?
What's sales tax?
If you're still working on this, please work. But for those people who've already finished it, then I would like for you to do sales tax. In Kentucky, that's 6%. So you would take this price, whatever you get right here, which should be this number, hopefully. Let's assume it is. And multiply it by,
That's right.
so if you've already done this and you checked it out and you said it was right, then this price, $32.70, take that and 1.06. Sales tax is 6 cents. It's 6 cents. And I multiplied it with the 1 in the front. That way the number you get represents the total amount you're paying instead of just what 6% is. So go on and figure out the sales tax if you've already done the first part. Okay, you can work out that second part. You want to figure out the sales tax. And notice in this one, how many numbers are behind our decimals here? So make sure we put our decimal in the right spot.
2.
Let's see. Yeah.
I don't know what 7.6 is.
For now, you can use this. Do you know what 7 times 5 is? What's 7 times 5?
7 times 5 is 35.
Okay, so that's 7 more to 35. 42.
I did on the calculator. I got the zero was an after. See if you can figure it out.
When you figured out the total cost with sales tax, stand up. With the sales tax. This is good preparation because today we're doing the decimal work. And so this will be good for your multiplication rounds. Make sure that we can do multiplication. Remember, there's a good reward in the end. Since this one's a little longer, Chase, why don't you go on and start working it out? That way we can compare our answers and just see.
Can I do the second one?
Chase, you do this one.
Can I do the...
But you've already done that. You're want me to let Keely. Keely, why don't you come and do this one? And as they work, if you're kind of stuck, you should watch them work. That way, maybe just watching them do one step will help jog your memory and be like, oh yeah, that's what I gotta do. Here, since we move over to this third number, remember you have to have 2 placeholders, so just shift that over 1. You guys can sit down. It's okay.
Oh.
Thank you, though. I'm glad that you got it. Okay, so now we added 2 plus B2. So just re-add it since we have to shift it all. Re-add it and see. That's 2. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers. So you take 1, 2, 3. We don't have to do that here. Okay. So if you're working, let's look at this, and maybe this will help jog your memory. So this will be like our review before we go into decimal wars. Yes, Kobe? We'll talk about it as a class, and then if you still have specific questions, I'll come around and help you. Okay, so this was to check to see if I was right earlier. When I said paying 60%, it's just like taking 40% off of the total price. So if you do the math, 5 times 6 is 30, put a 0, carry your 3. 6 times 4 is 24, plus 3 is 27, put my 7, carry my 2. 6 times 5 is 30, plus 2 is 32. And I have 2 numbers behind my decimal. So I go 1, 2, and I put my decimal right there, which is a price of $32.70. So it was right. We checked out. Okay, so now here's the other one. Let's see if this looks right.
I got a different answer on that. Mine was 34.62 instead of 34.60. And that's on the second one.
Why don't you examine it? I'll come and look at it in a second. This one's right, but check to see what happened. See if you can figure out what happened, okay?
No, not on that one. I mean,
Oh, on this one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, let's talk our way through it, and then we'll see if maybe there could be something else. Okay, so that's 0. That would be 2, carry your 4. That's 12 plus 4. Wait, 12 plus 4. Did I miss that?
That's
Oh, right here.
16.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah.
So
That's
Keith,
16.
okay, I was confused too. So Keith, Chase, do you see what you did?
Yeah.
Okay, do you want to come fix it real fast? Is that what you were noticing, Keith? Okay. So it was just a little adding error. Yes, John?
On the second one, under the one where you messed up, where you put the 0 and the 0 and 0, you put 7, 2, 3.
Yep.
Anything times 0 is 0, right? So the whole thing would be 0.
Well, that's what he did. He went on and just skipped it. He just left. He didn't even put that row there. He knew that it was going to be zeros, and since he knew it was going to be zeros, he didn't waste any paper, and he just knew it. Because he knew adding 0 wouldn't make a difference, so he skipped it. But he made sure to put 2 placeholders. Yes, Keith?
I would have got 66, but I just took out the extra 6.
Okay. So that's 0. That's 2. Carry our 4. That's 12 plus 4 is 16. Carried our 1. That's 18, 19. Beautiful. And then John just pointed out, there should be a row of zeros because 0 times anything is 0. But Chase thought about that too, and so he just decided to skip it. Because if you add 0 to a number, it stays the same. So he didn't put any zeros because he just had to skip it. But what he had to remember was that he needed to make sure that this next number had 2 placeholders. Because typically you just start with this one, you'd have 1 placeholder, but he had to make sure to put 2 placeholders since we're moving over to this place. So he put 2 placeholders, and then 1 times 0 is 0, 1 times 7 is 7, 1 times 2 is 2, 1 times 3 is 3, drew his line, and he added it all up, 0, 2, and he had 6, and then he had 6, carried his 1, that's 4, 3, and then he moved his decimal over 1, 2, 3, 4, $34.66. You guys agree?
Yes.
So you would need to bring $34.66 if you were to buy this item on sale for 40%. Makes sense. Okay. So, questions over that. Okay, Keith?
So Kentucky's tax total is 6.
For 6%. Some states have, it's actually one of the lowest in our country. Lots of sales taxes a lot higher, up to even like 10 or 12%.
My mom said it was 6 cents for every dollar.
That's the reason I wrote it like this. So when we got our answer back, instead of having pennies, we would have our total plus the tax percent.
That's a lot.
6%?
Not like 6%, but that's a lot.
Like a difference? Well, how much is that a difference of? 34.66 minus 32.7? That would tell you how much you're paying in tax.
Yeah, in Florida it's like 10%.
Yeah, we have a really low sales tax. Jackson?
So basically, what you're saying is if you buy something that is originally $100, the tax would be $6 extra.
You are correct.
Right.
You are correct. And that's an easy way to estimate too. You know, because if you're going to buy something that's $50, then how much are you going to be spending on tax?
56.
If something costs $50, how much are you going to be paying in tax?
56. 50.
How much? What Jackson? Would you just tell me? $100 is $6.
$3.
So $50 would be 3. Okay, good. All right, on to the more fun stuff, right? Okay, make sure your name is on your blaze. Okay, and let's have Preston. Will you go around and collect the blazes, please?
Yeah.
Blazes. Okay. So today is Decimal Wars round 2.
We had those two like the day before.
Session 2.
Session. Yeah, that's
Okay. That's better.
All right. Okay, so this is the important part. You need to listen to the instructions, because if you don't listen to the instructions, you won't know how to play. And you want to know how to play this game because it has a good reward. So, oh wait. All right, the Decimal Wars. The main difference in the first time we played to this time that we played is now we have division we have to add in there. So now we're going to have 4 total rounds. Round 1 is adding. Round 2 is subtracting. Round 3 is multiplying, and round 4 is division.
Round 4 should just be like
A mix. If we had enough class time, we would do that. Maybe we can do that a different day. It's like a mixed review. Yes, Jordan? Maybe you can wait till the instructions so that way you'll know how to play when you come back. As soon as we're done with this, you can. Colby? I will once run through the instructions. We'll pass them out. Okay, so I need your attention now and you at a voice level 0. I need books closed. Thank you. Okay, so you have been placed with a partner. I told you guys these were temporary seats. So just for today, the person I've placed you with is your partner. And Preston, when you get your stuff, you may move back. And Stacy, you can move over. The oldest person in the group will go first. Whoever is the oldest, that person will go first. If you remember how we played, I need your attention. I know that we played this, but we have very short-term memories sometimes, so you need to listen to the rules again, okay? All right. I will give you a baggie. Each group will receive a baggie. And you will draw 2 random decimals from this bag. During round 1, you're going to add them. You're going to add them. What's the key to adding decimals? What do you have to do? Jackson?
You have to put a decimal line between them.
You have to, well, what kind of, I think you know it. It's just coming out a little unclear, but you know it. Chase, you line the decimals up. So, and if you don't, if one has 3 numbers behind the decimal and one has 1 number behind the decimal, how do you make sure that they're the same? How do you make them, the decimals line up? What do you have to do? Keith?
And if they're not lined up and they only have 1 number behind it, you just add it. Well, if it's like that.
Yeah, if it's like this, and obviously my decimals are lined up, but they look unbalanced. So what do I do?
Add more numbers like zeros.
Like zeros.
Just put zeros.
So not random numbers, but preferably zeros. Placeholders, kind of zeros. So you have to line them up, and you need placeholders to make them balanced. Good. So you're going to add the decimals. You need to show all of your work. And then you're going to box in your final answer. So you'll show your work and box in your final answer. Then your partner with the calculator will check to see if you're correct. If you are correct, you got a point. If you're not correct, your partner gets a point. So we want to make sure we get these correct. So you can work quickly, but make sure you're working thoroughly. Let me go to the next one. Okay. You're going to do, okay. Okay. Well, the computer's frozen, but luckily we've done this before, so we can talk our way through it. We're going to do 4 rounds. First one's going to be adding. Oh. Okay. I decided to freak out for a minute. Okay. There we go. See, you must keep track of your points for each round, because the way we decide the winner isn't who overall has the most points, it's who wins the most rounds. So you need to keep track of each round, how many points you get, and there will be a winner of each round. You need to make sure that your work is readable and that you don't write your answers all sideways all over the paper. I need them kind of to be in order, like number 1, number 2, number 3. So if I look at it to check it, I can see where your work is. All right, there will be 4 rounds. I told you this. I'm going to play music up here. Whenever you hear the music stop, that's the end of that round. You will probably have a lot more time for multiplying and dividing than you will for adding or subtracting. Because at this point, you guys should be masters at that.
Are we doing points on how many rounds we win?
Yes, so at this point, there could be a tie, which we'll have to go to sudden death, which might be an order of operations question. All right, expectations for this. This is the important part. You will work at a voice level 1. Everyone needs to be able to concentrate, and if we're all yelling, that doesn't work out. So we need to make sure that we're at a voice level 1 when we're working. You will only talk to the people in your group. You're not talking to people in other groups. You need to stay in your seat. If you have a question, raise your hand. The only thing you should be out of your seat for is a tissue. There's no emergency trash that ever has to be thrown away. You must be playing the game the entire time. Don't pause for talk breaks. Do not be disruptive. And if you're disruptive, you'll get a star on your paper. By the time you get 2 stars, you're out. There's no reward for you, and I do have like a 5-page study guide for the test. So you don't want to have to do that on your own. That would not be fun. Each team will have a winner. If you get all the problems correct in a round, then you get a knockout point, and the person with the most number of knockout points out of the entire class will get an additional reward. So, I think that's pretty much all of it. Let the games begin. But before that, we've done pretty much everything. Now for the rest of the time, we are going to be doing decimals. The decimal wars, I will stop us with about 5 or 6 minutes left in class. That way we can determine the winners. Our learning target today, you guys can probably guess what it is. I can add, subtract, multiply, and divide decimals. Your test is tomorrow. So, yes, we'll talk about this. So this is your review. This is your chance. If you and your group member are stuck, please call me over there. That's what this time is for as well. I can come over to you right now, and I can help show you how to do something if you get stuck. So if you get stuck, don't give up. Raise your hand. Let me come and help you. Maybe you don't get that point for that round, but you'll be able to get points when you draw your next numbers. So call me over if you get stuck on one. Yes?
What do you mean by knockout point? Like, how do we get those again?
Knockout points are if you get every single problem correct in a round, you get a knockout point. So if you attempted 5 problems and you got all of them correct, then you got a knockout point because you went through the whole thing and you got it right. So adding, subtracting, line up decimals. Multiplying, do it like they're whole integer numbers, and then you have to count the numbers behind the decimals to figure out where to place the decimal. And if you have other questions, call me over. I want to help you. Yes?
Are you going to give us a study guide to study with?
Yes, I will give that to you to study with tonight. Okay, any questions before this starts? Yes, Jordan? Yes. Any other questions? Once I've given you your baggie, you may begin. Voice level, remember where we need to be. Where do we need to be?
Got 1.
Okay, let me feel like all of you guys know. What voice level are we going to be? 1. Okay, so once I give you your baggie, you may begin. No, Haley, you're back to your seat. Haley, back to your seat. We do not get out of our seats. Okay. Raise your hand if you need paper. Because you're going to be working all of these out by longhand, so make sure you have a lot of paper. I do have extra paper if you need it. The quicker you work, the more chances you'll have to... Wait, we got to wait for paper. They go. Paper? You paper? Wait.
Go first. How much rounds are there again?
However you want to do it. Whoever's older can decide if they want to play first or work first. I mean, they can work first or check first. You should have 1 calculator per group. I'll place it on your desk. I'll get you one.
Thank you.
Yes, add. First round, you are adding.
What's this decimal?
First round, you are adding.
What?
All right, so first round, you are adding these. Line up the decimals. Use 0 as placeholders. I'm going to start the music. Please do not whistle.
Yes, I did take a picture.
You can't find it.
You have a wider butt.
You
You draw out two. Okay, you calculate all the calculations check. Okay, focus on your root. Why don't you keep on practicing until I come back? Yeah. Well, let's keep working, and then you check it on the calculator, or I can come back and check it for you. It'll be a lot better. Okay, what's okay? There's 4 rounds.
I know because we both dropped. Okay.
One of the decimals and then 0. You guys doing well?
We kind of keep on pulling out world and then it goes to
That way you don't have them laying out. Sometimes they're laying out, they're easier to be. Do you want to put the decimals back in the baggie? That's nice because sometimes it'll help you from losing them. But it's up to you. Okay. Yeah. Shake. Okay. 9, 15, 31. I think you got it right. You're on a roll. You can talk. Oh, okay, you can call. Point 4 was what? Yeah, you got it right. 063. I didn't know. Like so far, most groups are tied.
This ain't showing the right answer.
Okay, here's all you have to do. Instead of putting 0 there, move your 3, 6 right there, put your 0 at the end. So always put the 0 after it to make it the same length. So just move your 3, 6 right there. So if it's beside the decimal, leave it. So move the 3, 6. You got it. Move the 3, 6. And then put the 0 at the end. There you go. Yes. Is it you off?
No,
Yeah, because me and him got it right this time.
If you draw the same thing, you can put it back.
I literally do because we've been tied for 3 times in a row. What's your number?
Shake, shake.
Try it again. Ace time.
What I'm saying, I bet the multiplication and division round are gonna break it up. Good, I'm glad you guys know these.
Already got the answer before you.
You'll got 3 more minutes in this round. No, 3 more minutes in this round. Yes, ma'am. I'll remember it.
Oh, and Miss Ham. You talking about?
She said she did 4.
So close, it should be easy. Go ahead and mix this up.
Yep, that's right.
Is it 0.796?
How much points do you got? I got 5.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because I started before you.
Calculator.
Oh, put these back.
No, I've got it.
Which were out? You started
Me too.
Got about a minute left. Okay. Haley racked up a lot of points. So you just line up the decimals and you put zeros at the end to make them equal, to make them balance. No, Jackson. You are good at math, okay? Jackson, you are good at math.
I got an A in this.
If there's an issue, I'll leave the ball. 1 minute. Oh, here. 9 plus 9 is 18.
No, you got No, I erased it. When I first did it. No, I did not. No, I did not. What was your hand? Oh, your hand. I already knew it, and I was trying to do the answer because you were over there doing something. Now I looked at it again, and I grabbed one up there, and one up there, and one has 2 legs missing, and wasn't looking.
All right, this round is over. Finish the problem you were working on. For our Blaze. So remember that when we multiply decimals, our decimals do not have to be lined up. You do not have to line up your decimals when you multiply. You just multiply as though they're just normal numbers, like whole numbers. Figure out where to place our decimal. We count how many numbers are behind the decimals, and we move our decimal over that many times. That's a quick 101. I'll come around and help individual groups if there are people that are struggling. Please raise your hand if you get stuck. If you miss more than 2 or 3 in a row, call me over there because maybe there's a little problem and we can fix it really quickly. So call me over if you're struggling with something. Whenever you hear me stop the music, that round will be over. Same expectation. You guys did really well before. Keep it about the same way you were. 1.5, about a 1, like a whisper. Only talk to people in your group. Make sure that you stay in your seat. Everyone needs to be participating and working the entire time. And you guys did well, so let's continue doing well. Questions before we start? Yes, Colby. I understand. We'll see what's going on. Yes? Probably just going to play the Beatles. Okay. Any other questions? All right. So make sure you draw a line to show that we're starting round 3. And make sure that your work is legible and you're showing all of your work. All right. Let's go. If it's taking more than about 2 minutes to do a problem, that's kind of a cutoff time. Call me over if after 2 minutes it hasn't been solved, okay? The biggest problem was that 0.6 and 0.6. It has more digits, but look at this digit. It's just a 0. So this is like having $9.60. This is like having $6.30. Yeah, so make sure the decimals are the same. And look, if this number is the same, then you move over and you look see which number is bigger as in value. Like either $6 or $9. Okay. Now with multiplying, you don't have to line up your decimals. Just multiply it like they're just normal numbers, and then you figure out where to place it. So 2 is 1, and I'll come around and check it. Got it?
I did it that way too.
What are you using?
Yeah, this is
Okay, let me see.
You need a new calculator.
This is 0 right here.
So this one's going to have a very, very started. Okay, 6 times 3. 9 times 0 is 3. 9 times 0 is 0. 9 times 0 is 0, right?
No.
That's not what you said.
That's 0. But then,
3, 0, 3, 2.
but then I'm multiplying this number.
Oh, I thought you were talking about that.
6 times 0 is 0.
And this one like it's the
You gotta have placeholder. 36. Wait, did you say? Okay.
As long as the top number can be bigger than the bottom number.
Are you sure? Get your placeholder.
Hold on. You missed a 5. 3 times 3 is... Where? See what you said. See, right here.
You know how to do it. It's going to be really long because you have 4 digits. It's messed up too? Alright.
Oh, I erased it. But when you do a calculator,
Just type in.
I don't know what they're
You do. Don't you know the trick? The hands? Move over just your 6 between like this.
Oh, yeah.
Put the finger down. 1, 5, 6, 6 fingers.
You got one?
Huh?
I'm gonna lose it. 15.
I'll have it. Let's see. Yes, make sure that you get one.
Okay, I got it. Yes.
Okay. Alright, so now put a 0 for placeholder. Now, 3 times 1. Just 1 second, I'll be right there. 3 times 0. 3 times 4. So put that down. Alright, now draw a line. Let's add 6 plus 0. Wait, is that, oh, 24. Okay, so it's 2 plus 2. Is that 2 plus 2?
Yeah.
Okay. So, where'd you get the 3? Is that 12? Is that a 12?
Yeah.
Okay, so it was 2 plus 2 is 4. So 6, 3, 4. Then you would have another 4, and then, okay. Now there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers behind the decimal. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're just clear up the 0 in front of it and see if that's right. Check it. Yes.
It has 4 behind the decimal.
Okay, let's see. 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times that's 24. 4 here, 2. 6 times that is 6 plus that, that's 8. Okay, so now we're moving down to our next row. So erase that. Just 846. That's all we want left.
846?
Yep. Just erase all of this. Everything, because 6 times that is 6. 6 times that's 24. You put a 4, you hear your 2. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 2 is your 8. So you're done with the first row. So erase everything except for the 846.
3 times 1 is 3.
Now you put a 0, we gotta go to our next row.
Oh.
So now 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 4 is 12, your 2. Here your 1. Okay? And then 3 times 1 is 3 plus 1.
That's 5. 3 plus 1 is 4.
Just put a 4. Because 3 times 1 is 3 plus 1 is 4. Okay, draw a line. Yeah, draw your line. Now add 6 plus 0. Okay, and you know how to place your decimal? Okay. You're going to have one here, and then you have to add all of those together. So this one's just long. If you can do one of them, you can do them all.
Yeah, but I couldn't that much.
Can we get you a new pencil?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I just gave up on this. Team Mercedes. We're doing multiplication.
What is the visual?
Oh, we got 3 down. You got like.
So you got 40.
No. You just want to give me.
These two? Again.
I'm gonna flip over.
Oh, you have Oh, that's right.
No, that was.
Let's do it. Look, the segment is going wrong.
You can stand there.
Six times 0 is 0 plus 2 is 2. Alright.
That's right.
That's the first part. Now we have a 9, so we gotta put a placeholder. Put a placeholder right there. So we have 9. Now start with 9. So I know what you guys know the main rule?
Yeah.
So
You got it right.
no.
You won't.
Okay, alright. How do you do this shit right? 9 times 1 is 2.
I'm gonna hit it.
Here. 9 times 3 is 7. 9 times 4 is 36. 9 times 5 is 25. 6 is 4. 9 times 7 is 63. 9 times 8 is 72. 9 times 9 is 1.
Last number. Oh, that's great.
We can leave it there.
Yeah, like, about, and we got outside, we were there. What's the
9 times 4. 9 times, what did you do? That's 36. So,
I can't think of it. Leave me alone.
3? No, it's going to be.
No, not
Great job. Right in front of there. All right, this round has about a minute left.
No, 1.166. Yeah. You're still on. Yeah, you're still tied. Just about the 20th time. Yeah.
Right here, like.
Huh?
next round long division? Doesn't matter if you don't like math, still gonna do it.
What were yours?
I still got it wrong. Wait, are we going to writing?
This is your
All right, if you are working on a problem, then you need to finish that problem. And we're going to transition. We're going to transition into division. So if you are working on a problem, please finish it and tally your points for that round. Yes, Kobe?
I need your help with this.
Okay, I'll come and help you. So once you finish that one, you can go on and start transitioning into division. And you want to take the larger number will be your dividend. Your smaller number will be your divisor in this situation. Let's do it that way. All right, so you can go on and start division. Once you're finished with multiplication, just tally your points and declare your winner.
On number 3, you got tied again.
Yeah, I know.
So I'm winning. Wait, did you simplify? I'll go first.
What? You just gave them the answer.
It'd be remainder 3. Type in.
But he put a 0 back there. There's not supposed to be.
The bigger number goes in the box.
Okay. Is this? Is that I want that round.
Yeah. Yes, he won that round.
What?
No.
He was working the whole time. That's really what it came down to. He was
Yeah,
working the
yeah,
whole
that's
time, and you were just complaining that you couldn't do math. You can. I know you can.
And he missed out. He got 75.
Wait, what?
So calm down.
Try it
and
the other way.
No, wait. I can't.
Try it the other way. That's right.
Okay. Now you're going into division.
He did the wrong thing. Let's go inside the bracket.
No, I didn't. That's just number 1.
Subtraction didn't count. Oh.
Right. If he didn't want Travis to go, well then obviously he couldn't get a point. Okay.
Wait.
Calm down.
Freeze. No, freeze.
I know you're good at that. Okay, whose turn is it to go? Okay, draw your number. But you just treat it like it's normal division.
Miss Harrington.
This is division. But how you know what to put that? This is confusing.
I'll tell you.
It says this.
Divide. This number's bigger. This will be your dividend. This one will be your divisor.
Oh yeah, the bigger number needs to be the